How France saved the American Revolution. Money, troops, and heroes who changed history. First, a quick backstory. The American Revolution kicked off in 1775, with colonists fighting for independence from Britain. But by 1776, things looked grim. The Continental Army was underfunded, undermanned, and outgunned. Enter France, Britain's longtime rival. After losing the 7 Years' War in 1763, France was itching for revenge. King Louis XVI, the young monarch on the throne, saw an opportunity to weaken his enemy. But it wasn't just royal grudge-holding. Smart diplomats made it happen. Leading the charge was Charles Gravier, Comte de Vergennes, France's foreign minister. Vergennes believed supporting the Americans would drain British resources and restore French prestige. He convinced Louis XVI to start with covert aid, even before any official alliance. This sneaky support began in 1776 through a fake trading company called Rodrigue Hortalez et Cie, run by playwright and arms dealer Pierre Beaumarchais. Yes, the same guy who wrote The Marriage of Figaro. Beaumarchais funneled guns, ammo, and supplies worth over 1 million livres, that's about $200 million today, to the rebels. Without this early boost, George Washington's army might have crumbled. But the real game-changer came after the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, where American forces scored a huge upset victory. This convinced France that the colonists could actually win. Enter Benjamin Franklin, America's rock star diplomat in Paris. Franklin, with his fur hat and folksy charm, wooed the French court for years. He schmoozed at salons, printed pro-American propaganda, and even flirted with influential ladies to build alliances. Alongside fellow envoys Silas Deane and Arthur Lee, Franklin sealed the deal. On February 6, 1778, the Treaty of Alliance was signed, making France the first nation to recognize U.S. independence. This wasn't just a handshake. It committed France to full military and financial support. Vergennes and Louis XVI were all in, despite the risk to France's own treasury, which was already strained and would later contribute to their own revolution. Let's talk money first, because wars aren't won on bravery alone. France provided massive financial aid, totaling around 1.3 billion livres by war's end, equivalent to about $13 billion in today's dollars. This came in loans, grants, and subsidies. The first big loan in 1778 was 2 million livres, arranged through Franklin's negotiations. More followed. In 1781, another 6 million livres directly from the French treasury. But it wasn't just France. They roped in allies like Spain, who contributed through joint loans. A key figure here was Jacques Donatien Leray de Chaumont, a wealthy French merchant who housed Franklin and helped secure funds. Without this cash, the Continental Congress couldn't pay soldiers, buy supplies, or even print money without hyperinflation. France's gold kept the American economy afloat, literally funding the fight for freedom. Now, on to the boots on the ground. French troop support. France sent over 12,000 soldiers and sailors, plus a massive navy that outmatched Britain's in key moments. The star of this show? Marie-Joseph Paul Yves Roch Gilbert Dumoutier, better known as the Marquis de Lafayette. This 19-year-old French noble arrived in 1777 as a volunteer, defying his king's orders. Lafayette became Washington's right-hand man, fighting at Brandywine, training troops at Valley Forge, and lobbying back home for more aid. He even named his son after George Washington. Lafayette's passion inspired thousands of French volunteers. By 1780, official French forces arrived under Jean-Baptiste Donatien de Vimeur, Comte de Rochambeau. Rochambeau led 5,500 elite troops, landing in Rhode Island. He coordinated with Washington, marching south in 1781 for the decisive campaign. But the Navy was crucial too. Admiral Francis Pont de Grace commanded a fleet of 24 warships. In a brilliant move, de Grace blockaded the Chesapeake Bay, trapping British General Cornwallis at Yorktown. Yorktown in October 1781 was the pinnacle of French-American teamwork. Rochambeau's army, Lafayette's units, and Washington's forces besieged the British on land, while de Grace's ships cut off sea escapes. French engineers dug trenches, and their artillery pounded British lines. After weeks of fighting, Cornwallis surrendered, effectively ending the war. Washington himself said the victory was impossible without French help. De Grace's fleet alone shifted the naval balance, preventing British reinforcements. Other figures deserve shoutouts. Admiral d'Estaing, who led earlier naval ops in 1778, and the countless French soldiers who fought and died far from home. Even after Yorktown, French loans kept coming until the Treaty of Paris in 1783 formalized peace. So, what was the impact? France's aid wasn't cheap. It bankrupted their monarchy, sparking the French Revolution in 1789. But for America, it meant independence. Without Louis XVI's approval, Vergennes' strategy, Franklin's diplomacy, Beaumarchais' smuggling, Lafayette's bravery, Rochambeau's leadership, and de Grace's ships, history might look very different. These figures weren't just allies. They were visionaries betting on democracy. Lafayette later helped draft France's Declaration of Rights, inspired by America's. It's a reminder that freedom fights often cross borders. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more history deep dives, and drop a comment. Who's your favorite Revolutionary War hero? Was it Lafayette or Franklin? Check the description for sources and further reading. See you next time on History Unlocked. Vive la Révolution!